So, some left-wing nutter has appeared on TV to discuss a situation happening in France where the authorities are hosing down illegal migrants that are trying to cross international waters. Now, this left-wing nutter is a self-proclaimed asylum seeker. She claims that she arrived in the UK illegally, and when debating the other gentleman on the panel, she tries to put words into his mouth that he actually never said, such as that he doesn't want her to be in the UK, which he never once mentioned whatsoever, which really does highlight the left as a whole, that they are completely erratic, mental, and when they feel like they are losing the debate, they just put words into the other person's mouth. But without further ado, let's have a watch of this debate because it gets really, really heated and she is on the verge of an absolute meltdown. So without further ado, let's have a watch. Make sure you do like and subscribe.
Hit their head the wrong way, kill them. It has been known in other places around the world that water cannons used at close range can actually cause internal damages as well. What about a child? What if we used it on a woman? We are so beyond the realm of what is reasonable here that it's quite disgusting to think about it.
It is used quite regularly across continental Europe, though,
if I may, though,
particularly in France. The French police are fairly expert, I'd argue, at using it.
Not even slightly. The reason that a water cannon can be used to deter protesters is to get them wet, not to shoot them off of boats so that they land in the water. The point of the water cannons is simply to get the protesters wet so that they go home.
We're looking at the water cannon being used, sorry to interrupt, in Paris in 2018, where, as you say, it is being used to get them wet, but people are on their feet in some instances there. But you're worried about the danger of it, and that's a view that was taken by Theresa May, who said that it had potential to cause harm and outlawed it in 2018.
Multiple times. It's most important to note that we are using CS gas, potentially, batons and water cannon against children, women, and adults who are vulnerable. If we wouldn't do it in our own country, why would we do it just off the coast of?
Well, James, I suppose a lot of people would say we would do it because it will act as an enormous deterrent, and we have a crisis of immigrants illegally trying to get into the country, whether they're asylum seekers legitimately or not, we don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are two things here. On the issue of the safety, yes, of course, there are some safety risks, and I understand that about using water cannons. I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of a water cannon, but compared to the risk of getting on a small boat and crossing the channel at the hands of people smugglers, let's keep things in perspective. It is far safer to deter someone from making that journey in the first place by using a water cannon than it is to allow them to then get in the water on a small boat. So let's get that into perspective. But also, I take the Tony Blair view. A few weeks ago in his essay, he said, we should be doing whatever it takes to stop the small boats crisis. And if that's water cannons, fine. If that's the Navy to turn the boats back, fine. Whatever it takes, we need to get on top of this because it is undermining people's faith in the institutions, in government's ability to do anything. If you can't even stop a dinghy, how are we ever going to build a high-speed railway, for example?
But if 1 in 4 of those people are trying to cross the channel, and at the moment we know the majority of people who claim asylum do get granted it because they have a legitimate claim, how can you dehumanise them and treat them in this way that you might try to get rid of rodents or whatever it might be on the street?
I don't think it's dehumanising to use water cannon.
You know, many of these charity representatives are saying.
I think that the bigger risk, and I get fed up of charities like Care for Calais saying it's unfair, it's inhumane to use water cannon. What is more inhumane is not doing more to stop these despicable people smugglers carrying people on small boats, risking their lives across the channel. We should be doing everything from both a humanitarian and a border security point of view to stop it.
So what you're suggesting and what you've said today on the show live for people to watch is that you condone writing a blank cheque, allowing people to do exactly what they need, that the end justifies me. Do you see how you sound? It's barbaric.
I think most people would think I sound quite reasonable.
It doesn't matter what most people think. What matters is whether you are on morally right grounds, and you are falling far short of that.
No, I think it is morally more defensible.
Because last year, 41,472 people came on small boats. Now, that is not a crisis beyond all imagination, first of all.
41,000
Second of all, Second of all, if it is something that you have a problem with, why are you shooting the victims? If the people smugglers are your problem, go shoot water cannon at them.
Because you have
why
to
are you
stop the
choosing?
business model.
It doesn't matter.
You have to disrupt the business
blaming
model.
And you are persecuting the victims.
No, I'm not persecuting anyone.
So, I mean, gosh, persecuting, yeah, you see, this is where, who would you like to see the anger directed at specifically?
I agree with you, it's the people smugglers.
Yes.
But you are blaming the victims. You want
But
to
if you
shoot
allow
children and women.
What is your concern? It's indiscriminate and you
Well,
can't...
My problem is that you wouldn't want your child, you wouldn't want your wife, you wouldn't want your brother or sister to be hit with these cannons. By the way, in the ocean. So you know that they are going to be forced into the water. That is what you are
I don't
aiming
want them
to do.
getting on the small
That's
boats.
a different question. We're not arguing about that. What we're talking about is whether when they're on the boats, we should be throwing them into the
We're seeing that since this new deal has been struck with the French, there has been a 2/3 reduction in the number of people making the crossing. That's a good thing, isn't it?
So this is before this is implemented. I don't think in any way, shape or form you can call the number of reductions, and they have.
Well, that was
reduced.
for May, and that's since the announcement of the cash.
But
And
that's
we're
not-
only just hearing the details now of what that deployment has included, which is, as
I
we
agree
know,
with you. These are all the ways that we can control the problem. They also have what they're calling a one-in, one-out policy, which
We've
is to
tried
say...
a lot of that, though, Nella. I mean, this is the problem. We have tried all of this. And ultimately, until you set the precedent that if you get on a small boat, you ain't coming in, until you make it really clear that it is futile to get on a small boat.
How about lethal?
We will not stop.
How about lethal?
Well, the lethal thing is getting on the small boat.
How about we do
I'm
the...
fed up of people on the left claiming the moral high ground as if they're the only people who care about these vulnerable human beings who are getting on the small boats. How about fixing it and not allowing anyone to get on a small boat? That's the humanitarian
James,
position.
I'm a refugee to this country. I came here illegally. You're literally talking to one of us.
But I don't want anyone getting on a small boat.
But I know you don't. I know what you're saying is you wish I wasn't here. And
I'm not saying
Of
that.
course you are.
I'm not saying.
The natural...
I am saying I don't want people risking their
What are you
lives
talking
on a
about?
dinghy in the middle of the channel.
Let me try and make sure I understand you. I don't want illegal people coming into this country. I'm an illegal person that came to this country as a child.
I don't
now
want people
imagine
risking their
if-
lives.
I agree with you. I agree
in
with
the
you.
middle of the
I
English
don't
Channel.
disagree with you, but you are actively suggesting that it is okay to shoot water cannon at children. And that is never okay. That is not what this country stands for.
Yeah, that is one of the worst guilt-tripping attempts I've ever seen. One of these left-wing nutters, of course, she's playing the victim card there, you know, mentioning about women and children, should they be hosed down? You know, what we see 99% of the time when we see these small boat crossings, is that they are predominantly military-aged fighting males. That is where the massive issue lies. And as the host actually correctly mentioned, it has been a very effective system, what the French are doing when it comes to hosing these people down. And as a gentleman mentioned as well, actually, if you put it into perspective of the bigger issue at hand here, is actually, if you think about it, being hosed down is actually probably saving lives because these people are not risking their lives crossing the channel. So it is all about perspective, but this woman, of course, thinks erratically, thinks with emotion, and of course she claims to be an asylum seeker herself. So, you know, therefore you see her in Meltdown trying to guilt trip the panel and of course the host as well. But yeah, the woman's clearly mental. But guys, I want to know your thoughts on her little rant there. As always, make sure you like, comment and share, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.